This is Charlie giving you Friday's live trading, and I hope you're very well. And so I'm just watching the markets here this morning. Obviously, it's non-farm payroll day, and so as a result, we could just see a lot of choppy sort of trading this morning, and maybe not a lot going on. The euro looks like it's having a nice run down, but if we put it into perspective on the hourly charts, not really too much, and not that clear right now. It's so it could come lower, yes, but it's we've got divergences here, and we've just got an 8 a.m. pivot that's just come in above. What's that up to about 56? What are we at here? 48. It's hardly worth even trading, but I guess I could give that a go. No, I can't. There's not enough meat on the bone, so to speak. Even though we've got a little bit of a divergence to go from 50 to 56, and it's just not. It's not worth it as far as the pips are concerned. I'll press pause for now and we'll keep watching. Okay, so what I'll be looking to do, even though we're coming down a bit at the moment, overall the trend has been up overall, and it wouldn't surprise me if we carry on sort of chopping a little bit on the higher time frame, at least meandering our way. I think that at some point today the euro is going to come down lower, but right now, this morning, it wouldn't surprise me if we get that little bit of a bounce back up. It's just after 8 o'clock. So what I'm going to do, we've got a little divergence down here between this low here and where we are down here. So if we close back inside the bands, then I'll look to see if I can get on the long side for that little bounce up towards that 56, that 4-hour pivot at 114.56 there. So I'll just wait to see if we can close inside the bands, and then I'll come back. Okay, so we're just coming in to close this 5 minutes. Oh, it's barely closed inside, so I'm gonna wait for now. I'm not feeling that much love for this trade, so I don't really want to risk it just yet. So I'm just gonna wait, see if we dip back down. If we dip back down and then come back into the bands again, then I'll look at going in. So because the potential is for the euro to want to come down to that daily pivot, which is down below. It's got a main daily pivot down at 114.26. So we've got this, like I said, a small divergence there, but I'm just need to be a little bit patient. Just want to see what the price action is going to be. If it just goes straight up from here, then I miss out on the trade. So I'm not that fussed this morning, in light of the fact that we've got non-farm payrolls later anyway. So we'll just see. So I'll press pause. Okay, so as we can see, I've missed out on this one because it's just gone boom straight up. The target's still 56, but it's obviously gone way too far now. So I shall press pause, and we'll come back to this at some point and see what's going to happen. We'll find a trade at some point today. Okay, just back, and as we can see, the euro's having a nice run up here this morning, and at the moment. But what it's doing is having a nice little run here, and I'm just wondering whether this might actually be a complete fake out. It's just coming back up to retest its hourly 21 before actually it rolls back into this whole range again. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put a short on right here with a very tight stop, and we'll then just see. So I'll put the 4 units in just as we've come into the 5-minute 21 there. I'm going to put a really tight stop on behind it, and if it doesn't work out, I'll be out very quickly. Now the thing is, I've stopped talking here and it's still going higher, so I'll just get these stops sorted out. So I'm just bringing the orders up off screen at the moment because I've got swing positions in at the moment which I don't really want to show you. So let's get these stops in. So what I was going to do is put the stop in around about, let's put it in at 72. I was in at 65, so yeah, 72, 114, 14, 72, and so on and so forth. So let's get these other ones done. 114, 72, 114, 72, 114, 72. And I'll go for a little bit more of why I've done what I've done. 114.72. Partly it's because really I'm expecting this market to sort of chop around, really, and not really get too much of a direction on. And the potential is for the euro to come all the way down to its daily pivot, which is down at 26. But so as we've come up there, we've come up to the hourly. It's really about the hourly chart. So, oops, not 6-day, hourly. There we go. So we've come up to the upper band on the hourly, just as I shorted that. So we just hit the upper band there on the hourly chart. And it was also, as you can see, it's come up to the hourly 21, just surpassed it slightly. It doesn't look quite that way on the E-signal. The E-signal 21 is a little bit higher. So just as we've hit those bits of resistance there, I've just shorted it. So what I may do, if we come and close back inside the bands, then I could very quickly move my stop down to 70. What did I get in at? 65s. So we're at 64 at the moment. So yeah, I'm just looking to see if this can sort of, even if it wants to roll over, it may just hold up here and play around for a bit, and hopefully I don't get wiggled out. And if it wants to come and take the stops out from up here, this is possible. So I've just tried it with a very tight stop, and this is going to be the only trade I try this morning, because then I'm going down the gym. And but if it starts to roll over, then so be it. And then I'll just once it once I see it starting to move, if it does start to roll over and it doesn't come up and stop me out, then I'll just set up some orders, head down the gym, and then we'll see where we get to once I get back. So for now, I'll just sit here and wait and just see what it's doing initially here, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, just back, and well, let's have a look at this euro. It's got close to the daily pivot, but it's not quite got there. So what I need to do is trail that stop down a little bit now. I've just got back in from the gym, so I can certainly afford to move it down to below, obviously, break even. I might even move it down to 55, and just see what happens here. It could chop around now, as it's not quite got down to the pivot. We'll see. Hopefully, it can roll over from here, but I don't know. It's not the first time it's tested that band. So let's bring up the stops first of all. Let's bring up on this last one. So obviously the second target got hit at 45, so that's good. So I'll show you all that in a minute. So let's move this stop down to 55 on the last bit. So it's still giving it lots of slack, really. But I can see that the pound off screen is holding up quite well. So if we go and have a look at the pound dollar, then we can see that one's doing rather well, actually, by comparison. So if we go back to the euro dollar here, and so, but obviously I'd like to see it get down and hit that daily pivot. It could be, I'd rather get this video done and finished and wrapped up, but it could be that we have to wait now for several hours. What's the time? It's just gone 11 o'clock, and it could just chop around for several hours before getting down there, but you never know. So anyway, so let's have a look at the accounts. So we can see that here we've got £400 in open positions. You can see it's moving 400, 401. We've got this final position left, which is shown at 168, 169 at the moment. The other three have got banked at £51, £49, and £131. So this is the final position. And but overall, as you can see, for today, if I was to close this out now, it'd be $600 plus $1,600 plus $900 in open positions as well. So it would be, what's that? 600, 1,200. What's that? About $3,000 odd dollars by the looks of things off the top of my head there. If I was to close it right now, but obviously that's not the case. We'll see what happens. So for now, whatever happens on this trade, it will make I don't know. Maybe I don't know. £300, let's call it. So it's okay, considering I've not really been around much. So we caught it nicely there this morning. It ran down. Now the reason, to take that first initial profit off at the bands here. Now let's take this back a little bit. To take the profit off there, the reason to take the profit there, that's the first test of my bands here, down here, and it's always possible. This is just a retracement at that point, because we've been going up. It just wants to do a retracement to then go up higher again. Hence why I take the profits off there. Obviously, I was looking for it to reverse, but I knew the potential was that it obviously the flip side is it could always want to come all the way back up again. So that's why to take the profits off there. Then I fully expect it to chop around for a bit, so it can then start to loop around. Never expected to go straight down, and so it's obviously took its time and then has eventually rolled down. So that was the plan, but it all came from my flush move this morning. It's the flush that I do, which the guys in the trading room know. So it was a flush move today based on that hourly chart. Anyway, I shall press pause and we'll come back to this. Right, just back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to trail this stop down aggressively now, because I really want to get this trade over and done with so I can get the video finished. So hopefully it just comes down from here. I don't know if it's going to, so let's get this stop trailed down to, we'll put it down to 44 to this high, and so whatever happens, hopefully we'll get out of this relatively soon. So bring up the deal ticket so you can see the actual P&L of the actual ticket itself, and so whatever happens now, I've locked in 300 and whatever pounds, I guess £380, something like that, I think, on this final. No, sorry, on the total trade, £380. I guess it'll be about $500, something like that. I don't know, $550, whatever. Anyway, so, the thing with trading though is as always, it's about having a plan. So you try to get a top-down approach as much as possible. See what's going on with the bigger picture first, and then drill it down to the smaller picture. I get a lot of questions come through from people saying, "Oh, do you just use 5-minute charts?" Because that's what I'm always projecting. But what you're only seeing one chart here, and what I'm looking at off screen is a load of different time frames in order for me to build a picture of what I think might well happen, and then that helps me to put hopefully the odds on in my favor. And so I'd always encourage you to not just be one-dimensional, to always use different time frames to try and get a picture of what's going on. Use the bigger time frames to see what you're seeing there, and if you're seeing resistance being hit on the bigger time frames, drill it down to the smaller time frames to then see if there may be an entry. If like today we had negative momentum on the hourly charts as well, so there was other factors go in place. So always top-down approach would be my advice on that. Outside of that, you don't need to be sat there. How many times do I do these videos on a Friday when I try and get into a trade and then I go off down to the gym? It happens all of the time. There's no point in sitting there in front of the screens, put orders in and then see how it gets on. Don't get me wrong, I'm always keeping an eye on the markets whilst I'm in the gym, but I don't. If I've got orders in place, I don't really have to do too much. Now, as we can see, this is coming down a little bit more, so I'll move the stop down to 43 now. So just doing that off screen, and so hopefully it can just start running down here. The pivot's not too far below, it's at 26, so that's where the order is. So actually I've put the order at 26, but that's on E-signal it's 26, which actually means it's at 27. Oops. So let me bring up the let's move that just a pip above that. Sorry. So I've moved the target order down to 28, which is just above the pivot then, because E-signal's pivot's always about a pip or so out, so they're a bit belower than the actual price. Okay, so I guess I better press pause. We've got a nice long one today at 19 minutes so far, so I'll press pause for now. Oh, and the other thing, music, always good to have on in the background when you're trading. But it's Josh Groban on a Friday morning, can't beat that. Right, just back, and as we can see, I've been stopped out on that remainder of the Euro trade. I still think that we've got good odds of slamming down a bit this afternoon, but you never know. So let's bring up the accounts. So we're all done now. Thank God. Get this out to you. So what we got here at the moment, we so I banked what, $583 on that in total this morning on that Euro trade, or £378. Open positions of $1,200 down on open position, and obviously I've still got that 1,068 open position down there, which isn't moving because I've got it hedged. Let's see if I can open it up a little bit, and you'll see. There you go. You can see the positions now here, down here. So like I said, they're hedged. So you can see they're moving around within it, but the total P&L is not moving because I've got this hedged. So at some point I shall release the hedge, or just close it all out and bank the lot, or release the hedge, or whatever I'll decide to do. So, but whatever happens, if I wanted to close it all out, then I'll just bank that. So not a bad day. So for now, $1,200 plus $1,600. So what's that? 2,600, 2,800 plus 580 there. So cool. $3,300 probably in total. Yeah, easily. If I wanted to close it all out now. So not a bad morning, but obviously that part of that is obviously from trades I put on a couple of days ago. That's it for now. Have a great weekend. Stay safe on non-farm payrolls, and we'll see you next week.